you so much.
Are there other clarification questions before we proceed?
Yes, Bashar, thank you.
All right, and good day.
Thank you for reminding us once again of what we already know.
Thank you for allowing me to do so.
And
it also helps us remember who we are when we do.
Thank you, and I also need you to help me remind me of one other thing.
And what would that be?
Before lunch, you were talking about becoming the best receivers we can be.
Yes.
And removing all toxins.
Yes, if possible.
Emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual
Yes.
levels. So my question relates to in being conscious of the journey, being aware of the pause.
Yes.
Responding differently.
Yes.
And going through 4 months of eating raw foods.
Yes.
I have for a long time felt that I know the communication is there, and I hope others can relate to this, but I can't find the right radio station.
The right radio station meaning what?
For conscious communication. And there's part of my soul.
What makes you think it's supposed to come in the way or the manner that you have been led to believe it must come?
Because it comes that way sometimes, but it seems to keep...
Then why don't you listen for the other ways that it comes at the other times?
And I do.
Well, don't you see it?
I feel it more than see it.
I see. Do you have
No, I
synchronicity
feel.
in your life?
Yes.
Well, that's seeing it. Communication from higher levels often manifests itself as the synchronicities that occur in your life. Because that sometimes is an easier way to get the point across, rather than having it be vocalized or auditory or some other way that you expect it should come. So the idea is that you're constantly receiving it. You're just to some degree invalidating that all the ways you're receiving it are not equally powerful to the one way in which you wish to receive it. Do you follow?
I do, and I express gratitude in the ways that I do receive it.
All right.
But there is, one of my themes is always feeling that I have to be better than I am at that time, which I'm aware of and working on.
Oh, all right, thank you.
Playing with.
All right, thank you.
Journeying with.
All right. And?
So one of the questions that I've been asking for, part of my excitement
Yes.
is in being a channel of frequency and sound.
Yes. In what manner?
I do.
Singing?
No, it's not melodic, it's more electrical toning. It comes out more electronic, is the only way I can describe it.
But you are using your voice.
I'm opening my mouth and
Yes.
sound is coming out.
Yes. All right.
And it comes out in different levels and people react to it, and I just open it up to be whatever it's meant to be.
All right, and?
For the gathering. But I've been asking for...
For what?
An interpreter chip.
An interpreter chip. An interpreter chip.
Yes.
What interpretation do you need other than the response that you are getting from the people exposed to it?
Because what I'm getting also is questions of what's happening. And I've been told...
Well, they'll find out, won't they? What do you want to do? Remove all the surprises from the experience? I have to tell you exactly what to expect here, otherwise somehow you're not going to be able to get what you need. That's not the way it's going to work best, necessarily. The idea is to leave some mystery in it, so that you give them something to deal with. If you explain every little bit and piece, they will not really learn what they need to learn through their own processes of receiving the toning. Some of it must remain a mystery. Mystery is part of the recipe. It's not a missing piece. Mystery is part of the formula, not a missing piece. That's where your assumptions are throwing you off. You think that when there's a mystery, that it means there's a gap in information.
Right.
No. Mystery is part of the mechanism. Why do you think we don't tell you everything?
Well, I often get told I'm not allowed to know something.
There you go. That's why. Mystery is part of the process. Otherwise, no process occurs. And you don't really make it your own. Mystery is what allows you to make it your own, to input your own unique way of interpreting it. Every person is their own interpreter chip. Let them be so. You cannot provide a universal interpreter chip.
And don't take away their power by trying to interpret it.
Exactly. Now you understand.
So that it's more powerful to let them interpret it themselves.
It is. Because then they've made it their own. And it's not yours.
Right.
It's theirs. And that's the only way you can really teach something to someone, is to let them make it their own. They cannot just parrot what you know to be true. They have to find out that it's true for themselves, and only through their own mysterious process will they do so. That's where the phrase in your society comes from, that God works in mysterious ways.
Right.
Listen to another way of phrasing that. God works in mysterious ways. Without the mystery, God doesn't work.
Thank you.
You understand?
Yes, no, I do. And one of the senses I got when we were going through the Soul Blueprint history, you mentioned that frequency and resonance is the key.
Yes.
And so my sensation, my feeling was that there is an opportunity there to open and allow Source to come through to help people
And that's
using
what you're
frequencies.
doing. That is what you are doing. But you have to realize that mystery has its own resonance.
Right.
And that has to be part of the song. For without mystery, there is no beauty in discovery. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else?
Yes, thank you, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Good day. This is in connection to living in the moment. The human race could be compared to an ant colony that busies itself to the rhythm of time.
All right.
Time is also a commodity that most of us feel a lack of, thereby impairing our ability to live not only in the moment, but to live in alignment with our spirit.
Yes.
How can we free ourselves from the strings of time? And could you explain how you live time, or what time represents for you?
All right. We are much more fluid and flexible with respect to the concept of time. By living more in the moment, we don't create as much time, because that's actually what you're doing. You're creating time and space. It's not something that exists in that sense without you. The more details you create to work with, the more segregation and separation and compartmentalization you create within your consciousness, the more space and time you have to create in order to have room to have all those details and compartments. But the more holistic and integrated you become, the less time you need to create, because you exist more in the now moment, and if you are holistic, then everything that you are fits in that one now moment, or more so. So, while we have come from an evolution that allows us to understand what the experience of space-time is, at this point in our evolution we don't experience as much of it, because we don't create as much of it, because we don't need as much of it. And we don't have the assumptions of time that many of you do, in terms of needing more of it to get more done. In fact, we get more done by creating less of it, because things occur in the now, more instantaneously, and don't need time. The point is to understand that everything already exists, so that if you allow it to manifest, then you don't have to create time for it to take to manifest. Does that make sense?
In a sense, yes.
All right.
Would you
And
suggest that we discard watches and clocks?
some people can find that it would be beneficial if they didn't pay so much attention to that and focus not so much on time but timing, knowing that if they are really following their joy and being who they are, and they can really get practiced at that and be comfortable living in that now space, then they will be where they need to be when they need to be there, interacting with exactly who they need to interact with in exactly perfect timing without paying attention to any clocks at all. Very often you will find, for example, that when we determine that a time, in your terms, has been set aside for an interaction with us, we will sense the timing of the end of the interaction, but our timing sense will often coincide precisely to the second to the amount of time that was set aside for the interaction, even though we do not have clocks. So some people have joked that we must be wearing watches because we know exactly when it is, 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, but we don't. We just know when the timing is done, and it happens to coincide with your time frame because we allow it to find its natural place. So we have no clocks at all. But we are also very used to the idea of trusting our timing, knowing that we can never be early or late, but perfectly on time for whatever it is that happens in our lives. and that we will miss nothing, and that nothing will miss us. Does that make sense?
Yes, so am I to understand you're suggesting to learn to listen inward
I am.
and to trust and let go?
I am.
Thank you.
Does that help you?
Very much, thank you.
Well, it's about time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. On this same topic of time,
Yes.
some scientists that I've spoken with in the last year are studying the possibility of the fact that time for us on the earth at this time
Yes.
seems to have changed in some way, so that what was once, in other words, the way they're expressing it,
Yes.
is that perhaps what was once a full hour
Yes.
many years ago
Yes.
now seems to be more like, just arbitrarily stating it, something like perhaps 45 minutes or something,
Yes.
that there has been some sort of a compression.
Yes.
And that while
Well, this
we're still,
coincides with your change in consciousness about your relationship to the idea of needing so much time or not needing so much time.
well, are you saying that we're feeling that we're needing more or less time? I don't.
Less. You're creating less time.
We're creating less time.
Yes.
Well, I guess that's good, but it seems with all these time-saving devices that we have and the computers and so forth, we seem to be they're supposed to save time, and yet it seems as though so much more time is being expended with these time-saving devices.
Maybe, maybe not. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever experienced getting simply totally lost in something that you are doing so that you do not experience the passage of time?
Yes.
Well, the point I am making is that when you have that experience, it's not just that you're ignoring the passage of time, you're actually not creating the time you don't experience. And that's how you stay young. Because when you live in the moment and don't create time, you don't age. So when you do what you love to do, and time flies by, it isn't that time is flying, it's not being generated at all. When then you reconnect to the mass consensus time frame of your society and agree, oh well, yes, I must have been there for 5 hours because I agree with you that it is now 5 o'clock, you're reconnecting into the consensus out of convenience, but that doesn't mean you actually spent 5 hours doing what you were doing. You spent only the experiential time you actually had. And if when you started and then when you finished, it felt like it was only 5 minutes, for you, literally, it only was 5 minutes. You follow?
Yes. But is there anything that can be... Is this all in our minds, or is there anything that can be empirically measured so that, in fact, for our planet, something has happened to the way that we measure time?
Well, you see, that's
real?
exactly the point. The way you measure time is what determines what time is, because time doesn't exist without your choice to measure it. And as you change your consciousness and your idea of yourself, you measure things differently. So no, it doesn't exist without your measurement of it. And as you change the measurement, so you change time.
So when they say that time is speeding up, it's simply our perception
Yes.
of what's happening.
Yes, because you're creating it to do so. You follow?
Yes.
Does that help you?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Now then, let us look into the idea, once again, of soul blueprinting, and the idea that we have discussed of your own personal journeys, and the idea that has been discussed of things that you are bringing in from parallel realities, other time tracks, other lives concurrently coexistent, and agreements and themes that you have made with soul family members or others. and random acts, and take all of this notion and understand how it overlays with your pie chart, indicative of different frequencies, different slices, different vibrations, different degrees, different percentages, so to speak, of all the different vibrations that form your collective history as you have created it to be in linear space-time, and how you filter all of this through your personality prism to create the reality generation and experiential circuit. And please understand that when you look at all of this, that it is all a symbol. It is all a symbol of a vibration in your consciousness. That's all it is. All these charts, all the mandalas, all the words, all the numbers, all the writings, all the graphics, it's a symbol of a vibration in your consciousness. Because that's all there is consciousness. That's all you are, is consciousness. You have created the entire journey that you have created within your consciousness. You have not really come from anywhere. You have not really gone anywhere. You have not really come from any when, or gone any when, or are going any when. It is always here and now, but from a different perspective. So experience and creation are nothing but shifts in perspective of the same one here and now that always has been, is now, and always will be. But the point is that this here and now, in principle, is infinite. And being infinite and eternal can appear from different perspectives to be an infinite number of things, seen in an infinite number of ways. That's what all of you and all of us are all the different ways of looking at the one here and now, all that is. We are all, as we have said, the eyes of God, looking at itself from all the different angles it can, knowing itself, seeing itself, perceiving itself, experiencing itself in all the ways that are possible within the idea that it is. So, your life is a microcosm of that idea. You are the core of your life. You are the all that is of your life. And if you wish to see yourself as a different person, acting in different ways, all you need to do is go to that core, go to that center, and understand you are already all the different things you think you are becoming, or you think you have been. You are already those things right now. To whatever degree you are willing to know that, not just believe it, but know it with absolute certainty, is the degree to which you will perceive that you are who you prefer to be. That's all it takes. The willingness to know who you really are, what you really are, the willingness to see yourself from the perspective of your preference, knowing it is just as valid as any other perspective you have ever had or will ever have. And it's all about how you see yourself. Knowing that each is valid, each is true, that all truths are true, that all paths